Hi, my name is James, and I am an intensive couples counselor. I would say that my approach as a therapist is really focused on trying to activate real change. I work with addiction a lot of the time, which is really focused on trying to understand ourselves in a deeper way so that we can build habits and support systems that create the life that the individual or the couple wants to see themselves living. I think that a couple working with me in the ICC format can expect to take a much deeper knowledge of how their psyche and their interior world is developed and how it works, and then how that interior world interacts with the world around them, which naturally improves relationships, not only the relationship you're coming in to work on, but also other relationships and living relationally in general. An ICC is the highest quality couples counseling that there is. It is proven to be the most effective to get as much counseling in a short period of time as possible. It's really where therapists are allowed to shine, because you get an opportunity to really focus on one couple, one case, and to give it everything you've got. And I think that that intensity, that focus, and your ability to step out of your own context and conditions for a couple of days to really invest is a really different experience than to do kind of weekly couples counseling, which is deep recovery really takes us through a flow from how did I grow up? How did that upbringing affect the way that I show up relationally, understanding that through trauma models and parts models, coming to understand those parts and integrate that into a deeper relationship to a self part, which is a core, calm, connected, curious, playful, stable, centered part of myself. How do I get there? What are the things that I can do? And then how do I transition that knowledge of self into the relational container and build habits and environmental conditions around that connection with self, such that I'm able to stay in that stable place in my relationship more of the time, thus benefiting the relationship long term. Deep recovery is really focused on this idea that comes from something called deep ecology, which is an environmental idea. The idea, one of the kind of foundational principles in deep ecology, is a movement from what they call egocentrism, so focus on me, to ecocentrism, so connected to the world around me. And deep recovery follows a really similar approach, which says that I really have to go in and understand myself as an individual. How did I become who I am? What are my behavioral patterns? What are the ways I show up? And then how do I practice with that on a daily basis? Which is really an idea founded in addiction treatment, right? How do I manage and take care of myself every single day so that I can show up in the most skillful way possible? Deep recovery is also a little bit different from the other ICCs in that it's offered in three blocks. So there's a 4-hour individual, an 8-hour individual, and a 15-hour for couples. The recommendation is that if an individual is in active addiction, they would begin with 4 or 8-hour individual counseling before moving into the couples intensive. The couples intensive would be for a couple who is on the other side, ready to heal from addiction in a relationship. That doesn't mean that there can't be lapsing or relapsing happening, but it just means that both individuals are really focused on being on the other side of the active addiction that has harmed the relationship. It's a growing idea in the field of addiction treatment that addiction can be defined much more broadly than the way we think of it as addiction to maybe drugs or alcohol or even gambling, pornography, etc. That addiction is really this underwiring of all human behavior, that we seek pleasure as a way out of suffering, and that we're always moving towards something that's going to make us feel better. And we all do this all day long. by understanding that process and interrupting that process, we can recover from all kinds of things: affairs, negative cognition, occupational concern, existential crisis. All of these things are underwritten by a kind of addictive tendency that deep recovery seeks to treat and engage with. I love working with individuals and couples who are experiencing addiction in some way. Again, whether that's broadly or specific to some kind of substance or behavior, because I have a personal and professional relationship with addiction and addiction treatment. I've worked in a lot of different addiction related areas, and I really see how addiction is prevalent in so much of the way that our world works, our culture works, and I truly believe that approaching therapy from an addiction mindset can help truly any individual live a much richer, deeper, more connected, stable, grounded, playful life. When I started doing ICCs, I started doing them with couples that I had already been seeing for some time on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And I saw people that I had worked with for a year make more change in a week than they had made in 6 months, 8 months. And that is entirely just because of the parameters around an ICC and how that allows for such a different kind of growth in such a short period of time. So what I want couples to walk away with is not only a stronger relationship, but a stronger relationship built on two people who have a stronger relationship with themselves.